The 2025 Sundance Film Festival is in the books, and film critic Herb Stratford joins us in the studio. Herb, you were there in Utah. What did you see?
Well, it was the usual mix of some good stuff, some okay stuff, and some not so great stuff.
There you go.
For big screens and little screens. So we're going to talk about some of the things that we really enjoyed that will be coming up later for you to see at home or in the theater. So we're going to start with Omaha, and this is one of the most powerful films I've seen in a long time. It's about a family road trip, and you're really dropped into the middle of it. You don't know where this guy and his two kids and their adorable dog are going until really later in the film, and it's just a really powerful, devastating film. This is a hanky film, so be ready for that. But John Magaro, who was also in the movie September 5 a little while ago, is in that movie. This is Train Dreams. This is another film that I absolutely loved.
Okay.
It's Joel Edgerton, and it basically tells his story. He's sort of a traveling laborer in like the beginning of the 20th century, so the 1890s, 1900, and sort of his, you know, how he has to leave his wife to go find work and then coming back. And it's beautifully filmed. Love this film. And then Twinless is a really interesting, quirky comedy about a guy who loses his twin brother, and he starts going to a twin support group where he meets another guy who claims that he lost a twin. Well, nothing is quite as it seems. So very interesting sort of comedy and drama about sort of, you know, brothers' relationships. And then we're going to also talk about Together, excuse me. And this is Dave Franco and Alison Brie, and this got a lot of buzz at the festival. I think this will probably come out pretty quick because it was so exciting. It's about this couple who's having a little bit of trouble, and they interact with something they shouldn't, which starts to blend them two together physically. So they start to get attached to each other. It's a very intense film. And then our last narrative we're going to talk about is called Sorry Baby, and this is a story about a woman who's a professor at a university, and something happens to her, sort of a sexual assault, and how she sort of wrestles with that and deals with that. Writer, director, actor, first time at Sundance, first film. Everybody loved this film. It won some awards. So this is called Sorry Baby. Look for that. Moving to documentaries, we're going to talk about Sally, and this is a National Geographic film about astronaut Sally Ride, and sort of a double life she led. You know, she broke the glass ceiling of being the first female astronaut, but she also was a lesbian, and so she had to hide her family and her significant other because that would have been too big of a gap to overcome. And then we've got the two-part Pee Wee Herman as himself, and this will be on HBO Max later this year. This is a documentary about Paul Reubens and his Pee Wee Herman character. Really brilliant documentary. You know, that was just one of his characters, and just sort of going through his life. He has sadly passed, but he was very involved in the filming of this. At one point, he was going to direct it. So it's a really great deep dive, a look at an artist that everyone sort of grew up with, and everyone knows who Pee Wee Herman is. So that and some other films like the Marlee Matlin documentary. There was some good stuff. We're not talking about the stuff we didn't like. We're just talking about what you should go see.
Exactly.
So take a look for those, you know, later this year.
Okay, lots to look forward to. Thank you for giving us a look ahead into what's opening this year, Herb.
Thank you.